Hi, I'm Joe Wesley of J&L Creative Solutions. And the topic of this program is not quite your secret sauce. Well, first off, people will ask me, particularly if you're hearing me for the first time, what is secret sauce? Well, I don't claim that I see dead people, but I will help you discover something unique about yourself that gives you a distinct advantage over your competition. And I call that your secret sauce. Why do I say secret? Well, because most likely you don't know you have unique value, much less how to find it or even how to use it beyond that. And it's important because anybody can lay claim over what you do. We'll talk about, say, for example, an overhead garage door repairman. Well, I'm the best. I've done it the longest. I'm the most skilled. I have the highest integrity. Don't we all have that? And the challenge is, again, how do you make a distinction for yourself? Well, I can't talk about your secret sauce exactly. I will share with you a technique that will allow you likely to stand apart from your competition. And before I forget, let me do my commercial break. Thank you again for those who are visiting us for the first time, and more so for those who are coming back. I do appreciate this. Please remember to subscribe in the link below. More importantly, to click the bell to get advance notice of the next program coming forward. We do encourage you to leave comments. We do audit as best we can all comments made, good or bad, and bad has more meaningful. Coming back to the program, what we're talking about here is I'm going to share with you by the phrase of simply saying, ask questions that will give you an advantage over your competition. It's easy enough to do. It doesn't cost any money. It does take some time and effort, but really, isn't your business worth that? So what I mean by that is, I'll use my wife as an example. What she'll ask people as a technique, what's your sign? It doesn't matter if during the part of the conversation, it doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl. She'll ask you that. And she'll look, I know as a technique, one, she's really curious because she's kind of into the sign thing, Libra, Scorpio, Aries. And she likes to make connections with people through their sign. It does, in addition to that, provide some commonality between she and the person she's talking with. Because once she discovers a sign of that person, she'll say, oh, well, you're this, or you're that. Likely she'll have some relative, or I have a relative that has the same month or the same week of birth of sorts. She can now connect further on that. And she's not talking business. It really is purely social. But in fact, let me backtrack. Doing business really is social. Again, we're back to the concept. If people know, like, and trust you, they're likely by 75-80% to do business with you. So having said that, she's making a common communication factor. And so people remember her. In fact, sometimes better than they remember me, I'll admit to that, as she's a nice person. She has interest in me. I felt warm talking to her. And it's something she does intuitively. Most people who I meet in a business setting, virtual or physical, don't take the time to ask about you. Oh, rephrase that. Well, tell me, what do you do? And I get that. And people make business on that technique very well. But if you want people to remember you, rather than query them like a police detective perhaps, show interest in them. Very few people ever get that option, that somebody shows interest in them. And it's more than simply a technique. There's a business pragmatic value. When I'm asking questions about how did you end up in Los Angeles or New York? How long have you been there? What got you there? Do you like fishing? Do you like hunting, skiing? Something likely will come up that I might even offer some value to them outside of my immediate business concept. And people will say thank you. In fact, one lady said to me, you've given valuable information. Why would you give such valuable information for free? And I said, if you like the free version, imagine what the paid version must be like. So I get remembered. More importantly, I learn something about that person that I might offer them intrinsic value, other than the sense of, I want your money. It is a business. I do want your money, but I'd like to earn my keep. So when you have dialogue with somebody and you're in a chat room, say, for example, and they try to set up themes, the purpose of having dialogue about each other, I've met people who will say, well, we'll get to that theme concept eventually. Tell me what you do. Likely you'll be forgotten, more so than the person that says, really? That's your interest based on, say, the theme of the chat. Why do you feel that way? Or what grabbed you about that? Or that's a perspective I really hadn't considered before. Now you have dialogue. Now you have engagement. And more 15 minutes in that chat ends, I will get an average of 1 to 2 people that actually connect with me after the chat is over for a Zoom. Because I say, geez, I'd like to extend this conversation. Would you mind if we do a Zoom connect? And people would say, I'd love to do that. In fact, I said 1 or 2. I get an average of 40 to 50% yield on people who say, yes, I'd like to Zoom with you, and actually do it. And then as a result, I've got a greater chance to conducting business dialogue on both sides. Oftentimes it will come out in a collaborative dialogue. Minimally speaking, a lot of us maintain connectivity. We begin sharing cross referrals. Sometimes we enter, again, a collaborative program. So, how do you stand out from the competition? If you really like to know your secret sauce, please feel to connect with me and ask me more questions about how that might work for you. Or visit, again, Chef, capital CHEF, the magician, again, link above and in the description, and learning more about the concept of secret sauce. But as an idea of not quite your secret sauce, asking questions is a great way to be remembered, not forgotten, in your connections, either virtual or physical. I'm J&L Creative Solutions. Remember to subscribe. Talk to you soon.